not machines, we are human beings. Join the Atom Effect. Join the movement. This is the Atom Effect. Achieve things out of mind. If you are hearing this, you are the resistance, and you are not alone. There are pockets of atoms spread throughout the planet. We are going against the function. The divisive tactics that they use to pit us against each other will be exposed. We are not machines, we are human beings. Join the Atom Effect. Join the movement. This is the Atom Effect. Achieve things out of mind. If you are hearing this, you are the resistance, and you are not alone. There are pockets of atoms spread throughout the planet. We are going against the function. The divisive tactics that they use to pit us against each other will be exposed. We are not machines, we are human beings. Join the Atom Effect. Join the movement. This is the Atom Effect. Achieve things out of mind. If you are hearing this, you are the resistance, and you are not alone. There are pockets of atoms spread throughout the planet. We are going against the function. The divisive tactics that they use to pit us against each other will be exposed. We are not machines, we are human beings. Join the Atom Effect. This is the Atom Effect. Achieve things out of mind. If you are hearing this, you are the resistance, and you are not alone.
Damn, you're not speaking English. I don't understand what you saying, but I'm TNK, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Girl, you know what I'm packing. Let's make a movie. Lights, camera, action. I'ma start shooting. Yeah.
Cloud.
Yeah. Hey. You sounding like a melody, I don't understand what you're telling me. Whole different language, whole different melody. Foot to the gas, roasting, I'm pedaling. I'm still meddling, gone for too long, had to start settling. I've been chilling with Melanie, girl, you my melody. You sounding like a melody, I don't understand what you're telling me. Whole different language, whole different melody. Foot to the gas, roasting, I'm pedaling. I'm still meddling, gone for too long, had to start settling. I've been chilling with Melanie, girl, you my. I don't even know what this girl saying now, but she had to get a quick fix, good dick, sick shit, ass so fat, call the shit thick. Girl, you ain't know I like you, wanna wife you. Shit so cool, color ice cube, be the sugar honey with the ice too. Don't forget T, man, don't forget T and K. Watch from a distance, all you do is slay. Tryna get paid, baby, tryna get paid. I don't wanna fall, but I already did. Exchange your heart with the kid. Damn, I got hurt again. Why always trip, man? Why always trip? You sounding like a melody. I don't understand what you're telling me. Whole different language, whole different melody. Foot to the gas, roasting, I'm pedaling. I'm still meddling, gone for too long, had to start settling. I've been chilling with Melanie, girl, you my melody. You sounding like a melody. I don't understand what you're telling me. Whole different language, whole different melody. Foot to the gas, roasting, I'm pedaling. I'm still meddling, gone for too long, had to start settling. I've been chilling with Melanie, girl, you my. Only got 4 minutes, Lord, tell me what to say, so I get the digits. Tell me all the right words, so I get it. Can't be scared, T, can't be scared. You don't wanna bust plan A, then gotta get a plan B. Whole new language, watch yourself. I'm a little dangerous, Melanie got me going crazy. Love your fragrance, gotta listen virtues. Girl, you my patient, gotta have patience. I take time with your lips, yeah, I gotta pace it. Time with the hips, take time with them hips, girl. 3-course meal, so I dive in them hips, girl. I dive in them hips. You sounding like a melody, I don't understand what you're telling me. Whole different language, whole different melody. Foot to the gas, roasting, I'm pedaling. I'm still meddling, gone for too long, had to start settling. I've been chilling with Melanie, girl, you my melody. You sounding like a melody, I don't understand what you're telling me. Whole different language, whole different melody. Foot to the gas, roasting, I'm pedaling. I'm still meddling, gone for too long, had to start settling. I've been chilling with Melanie, girl, you my. Take 5, yeah, the new kid.
Yes, sir, we in the building.
Y'all know what it is, man. Shout out to you if you tuned in, man. If you tuned in, you are the resistance. You are not alone. This is the Blac Pill podcast. Yes, sir. Man, we in the building, man. Y'all know what it is, man. I'm tired per usual. I don't know why I'm always tired, but I'm always tired trying to make this money. You know what it is, man. Donations right there down below. Support us at Ko-Fi, at the Adam Effect. Yeah, man, donate. $1 goes a long way, my ninja. If you can't donate, hey, man, hit that like button. Shout out to everybody in here and everybody that finds their way in here. Let me pull myself up. You know what it is. It's your boy, man. I got the light on. And I'm in the building. We in the building. Trying not to burp. I don't know why. When I get that coffee, boy, I get hiccups. Feel like I got to burp. Excuse my French. I don't know why I'm saying excuse my French, but you know what it is. I feel like I got to burp. My shirt is wrinkled. I'm sitting here looking at myself like,
but what the hell, boy?
We gonna get some new sounds though. I need some money, man. Y'all donate, man. I need some money. I'm sitting here counting my fake money like I got money. I'm counting my fake money because I need some money. I'm itching like I need this money, man. Shout out to you if you tuned in. Like I said, today's episode or tonight's episode, we're doing a deep dive into what's going on with Shannon Sharpe, who responded to the $50 million lawsuit, releasing graphic text from the accuser. Now, we're not necessarily going to read these texts out loud. Shout out to YouTube. Y'all know how YouTube do. We're not going to read these texts out loud per se, but we will go look at it and we'll read the parts that we can read because it is very explicit and YouTube is a place for general audiences, if you will. So with that being said, let's have a good show today. Shout out to you if you at work, if you got off work, y'all kick back and relax. Let me do my job now. This is my job. I'm entertaining. Yes, sir. Let's go to Instagram and see what's popping off on the internet today, or as of right now, as of late. So first things first, WWE Hall of Famer Paul Heyman calls out Shannon Sharpe's assault lawsuit live on ESPN. I'm not the one being sued. Ninja.
But what the hell, boy?
Keep it bold, bro. Let's see. Here we go.
Does as much good to my reputation as Shannon Sharpe does to ESPN.
Oh, no. Jeez. Oh, boy. All right. See, all right. We don't need that. A lot going on.
Don't ooh me. I'm not the one getting sued.
Whoa, okay. All right. Whoa.
You see? Very distasteful, bruh. And these people act like they can't put me on TV, bruh. Very distasteful. Very, very distasteful. Now, see, this is my job to talk about this stuff. I'm not paid by any network, so I could talk about this. But for you to talk about this on a network, hey, bruh. What they say, make him lose his job. Make him lose his job. I have no idea who he is, but I guess he's a Hall of Famer. Hey, bro, you can't do that, bro. What's wrong with this ninja, man? You what? What's wrong with that ninja, bro? You need to leave. Ninja tripping. Here we go.
See, CM Punk does as much good to my reputation as Shannon Sharpe does to ESPN.
Oh, no. Jeez. Oh, boy. All right.
These ninjas, bro. And then white. Shout out to the white people. Shout out to the white people who don't think they're ninjas. You guys are ninjas too, okay? You guys are ninjas. Look at this. Distasteful. Very distasteful and dastardly, if you will. Anyways, let's go to the comments. Shout out to my uncle. My uncle sent me something. I'm going to have to go look at that later. I didn't even see that. But shout out to my uncle. He sent me something. I'm going to go check that out later. I don't know what it is. It could be anything. You know, my family are a bunch of wild cards, if you will. So I kind of... I err on the side of caution with my family. But hold on, let me move myself a little bit over. All right, that's a little better. All right, we right here, man. Man, let's get into it. So shout out to Drewski. Y'all know Drewski? Shout out to Drewski. So we brought this up because this kind of relates to today's show in the sense that Tony Busby is the person who's trying to sue Shannon Sharpe. In this instance right here, Tony Busby was also trying to sue, I believe, what's his ninja name? Drewski and Odell Beckham. They were supposedly at some 2018 assault that they were allegedly being sued for. And now court records have came out showing that Drewski was in Georgia during the time he was accused of assaulting the woman at Diddy's party. You see this stuff, bro?
What the hell, boy?
Do y'all see this stuff, bro?
And I'm happy that, you know, cameras exist because now we can see everything. So people can't just make stuff up. But there has to be consequences and repercussions now when people just make shit up. There has to be something in, like, not a fine. I'm thinking jail time, real prison time. So people learn not to do that, bro. And it's not just women. Men do it as well. But according to Megan Cuniff, who I believe is a lawyer, court records show Drewski was in Georgia during the time he was accused of sexually doing stuff with a woman at a Diddy party. Bank records also show the content creator only had 91 cents in his account. Damn,
Boy,
Ninja.
what the hell, boy?
Ninja looking like me because don't nobody want to donate. I better start donating, bro. Stop playing, bro. Y'all see me on here every day busting my butt. Y'all give $1 to the homeless man on the street. You won't give $1 to me, bro. Ninjas wonder why I'm cold, bro. Ninjas wonder why I'm cold, bro. Maybe I need to leave. But hey, anyways, if you recall, Drewski denied the assault claims and said he was broke in 2018. So boom, there you have it. Let's see what the comments say. His bank statements look like mine before I started reporting people's credit in 30 days, repairing people's credits in 30 days. That man was not famous for that time. I don't think he was rubbing elbows with Diddy. I felt the 91 cents, LOL, real life. Yeah, I feel that, bro. The issue is out of hand. I feel for actual victims because these outlandish false claims are launching in an attempt for a money grab. Yeah, bro, everybody after money. Hey, fellas, free game. These women is hurting, bro. You think you hurting? These women is hurting, bro. Ain't nobody got no bread, bro. I be at the crib. This my new thing. Y'all go out and have fun, bro. I stay at the crib, bro. I stay at the crib. We got this right here. Operation Toothache. Let's get into it. Here we go.
What that mouth do?
So you got some
Whoa.
Boy, what the hell, boy?
What that mouth do? Excuse me?
big teeth.
I appreciate it. I call these BBL teeth.
Social media has fueled a phenomenon.
It ruined my life.
Like, no, that is ridiculous. They're literally just falling off of my teeth.
They aren't real dentists. They are criminals doing serious damage to people. We're getting down to the bottom of it as dentists are fed up.
I'd rather you have sex with me than told me because it's more bacteria in your mouth.
It's not always about what's in your mouth these days, but who?
The Shade Room undercover.
Yo, these people wild, bro. Hey, shout out to these people with this marketing, though. They know how to take some words. Hey, they know how to take some words and extrapolate off of these words. Here we go, man.
The teacher had no idea that the man we hired was really a dentist.
Porcelains are easier to do. Like, I charge $7,000 for my porcelain.
Do you know that this is illegal here in Georgia? I'm Justin Carter, and this is a TSR Investigate special report. Operation Toothache.
This is illegal.
It's illegal.
Boy, what the hell, boy?
Yeah, these people wildin'. Everybody know. Well, I mean, everybody doesn't know. Education is important. Guys, stay educated. Free game, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, is this thing on? Is this thing on? Guys, stay educated, man. You gotta stay educated because if you don't stay educated, hey, it's a bunch of stuff going on. Like you will be surprised. Like, for example, you know, people do this, but just based off of like legalities. I'm just saying as an example. Because I probably do it too. You know, if you try and sell water, you know you have to have a license to sell water out in these streets. You got to have a permit to sell water. Ninja.
Boy, what the hell, boy?
You go buy that water out. You can give it out for free, but if you try to sell it and make a profit, you got to have a permit, bro. It's like that out here in these streets, man. So it's hard to get up, but once you finally get up, don't let them bring you down. So I'm guessing tomorrow, it says watch tomorrow. They're going to discuss how these people are not dentists, but they're in your mouth. So TSR Investigate, shout out to the Shade Room. They go undercover and expose the black market veneer game, where unlicensed techs are racking up millions while leaving victims with infections, broken teeth, and zero justice. So if y'all want to go check that out, and no, this ain't no ad. It just happened to be interesting. I like the way they talk. So hey, that's just that, right? We have Cat Williams. Shout out to Cat Williams one time for that ninja. We got Cat Williams gets a street named after him in a Cincinnati neighborhood. Here we go.
It's a blessing to have all of these people that I don't know, but I'm connected to spiritually. And it's, even as a young person growing up here, I understood that names meant something. And so I understood that Cincinnati must have been a great place because even as a child it had such a long name. And I thought it was a special place. I thought that great people came from here. I thought the girls were good looking. I thought the guys were smart. I thought
the girls are good looking. Hold up. Hold up.
But what the hell, boy?
Hold up. It's time for Black Adam Investigates. Hold on. I don't have the right sound, but we're using this sound. We're using this sound. We're gonna go investigate. We're gonna go investigate. This is what we're gonna do. Let me see. TikTok. You know, TikTok show you everything that you need to see. That's why they want to take control of it. So look, we're gonna look up. He says Cincinnati. Cincinnati. Sounds like Sin City. Cincinnati women. We won't put girls because you know these ninjas. You know these ninjas out here. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Oh no, I can't have no music though, but because I'm on Twitch, you know, they'll probably give me a copyright strike. But okay. Yeah. Shout out to her. I'm the music. Yeah. It's crazy because as a man, you'll look at women and they'll call you the P word for looking at women, and it's like, are we not supposed to look at women? Because I'm not interested in looking at these ninjas.
But what the hell, boy?
What are we talking about? So don't be mad at me if I go on my show and I go look at these women. Let's see who else. We got here. Oh. No, we're gonna keep the volume up. I don't.
But what the hell, boy?
Let me see what else. Yeah, she's straight. She's straight right here. Yeah. Okay. Cincinnati women, ladies and gentlemen. I might have to go visit Cincinnati, Ohio. They like my music out in Ohio. Shout out to everybody that support me out there in Ohio. Where specifically, I can't remember, but I remember that they like me out there. And I've been out there too, I believe, doing my trucking stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to Ohio. Yeah, I have been out there. I've actually been to where LeBron James was born. I can't remember the name. Was it Akron? I've been to Akron before, yeah. Yes, sir. And you know, free game, you know, it's Motivational Mondays. Gentlemen, you got to get the chance. We get the chance. You got to see the world, man. The world's a big place. The world's not a nice place, but the world is a big place. And I mean, I've seen a lot of different places and I have so much more to see. You know, I'm in that phase right now where I'm building my life and establishing myself. From there, I'll start to travel because I like to travel. Yeah, I mean, I've been to Ohio. It's decent. I actually almost got into it when I went out there. And I think that was my first, I believe that was my first route. Yeah, that was my first route. So I didn't know what I was doing per se. You know, I had the truck, I knew how to drive, but I didn't know how it worked at like the locations and stuff. Shout out to the truckers too. If you see a driver, tell a driver, thank you, driver. Right? So I remember, I can't remember specifically because it left my mind, but basically I remember I had ended up, I don't know if I turned up on a dude. I think I turned up on a dude, like these two guys or whatever, because they was being rude or something. But they was being rude because they thought I knew until I told them, hey, you know, I guess they had my card or whatever, and they looked up that was my first route, and they're like, oh, so this is your first drop? I'm like, yeah, this is my first time, so I apologize if I don't know how this works, because I remember they told me to do something, and I did something completely different. Then they had me sitting there. I'm trying to make this money, so I'm sitting there looking at these ninjas like what's going on? Like, and I told them, I said, like, y'all got a problem? Like, what's up? What it is? And you know, it's because I'm traveling. I'm like, okay, I don't know who likes black people, who don't. So I'm like, okay, you know, I don't know how to feel. But then they told me, they're like, oh, you know, we thought this wasn't your first time and all that. But I'm just like, bro, if it's not my first time, why y'all being rude? Like, I didn't know. So, you know, after that, they realized it's my first time. They started being nice to me. So that was cool. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Cincinnati women, they look straight. They look straight. Let me see what the white girl look like. Oh, no. I mean, well, yeah, shout out to the older 70 plus women. That's too old for me. But anywho, let me segue back into Cat Williams. And yeah, let's see.
This was a place that you can really do something and make somebody proud. And the fact that it's come full circle. I've been in the business since 1995.
That's right.
The thing that means the most to me, even if it's honorary. I appreciate Cat Williams' way and A1 from
A1.
It's Cat Williams. So say that, Cat Williams. Cat Williams.
Black Adam. Shout out to Cat Williams. Shout out to Cat Williams. Hey man, that ninja been working, man, since I was a youngin'. I remember seeing him come up. All right, in other news, we got world news today. A Delta plane engine catches fire
Breaking news
at an Orlando airport. Shout out to Florida. Florida, what's going on, bro? Since I left, y'all been tripping, bro. Let's see. Here's the story.
From Orlando International Airport, where we just got some video into our newsroom showing a Delta airline jet catching fire on the tarmac just before noon. That plane was successfully evacuated with no major injuries. 200 customers on the flight, we're told, were taken back to the terminal and will be given food and beverages, according to Delta. We are keeping track of the latest on this breaking story right
now. Real quick, before we continue, we have somebody that seen my post earlier and she made a comment, so I wanted to shout her out. Shout out to Marietta. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but shout out to you, though. I appreciate you pulling up to the show. I didn't know whether or not you see my comment. I told her to come on the show, guys, because I posted a short about what happened with Shannon Sharpe, and she made some comments, and I didn't specifically get into the specifics with her comments, right? And the reason why is because I don't necessarily know her people or whatever the case may have you. And shout out to you, Marietta, like I said, for coming on here. Now, Marietta, before like I said, first off, I want you to enjoy the show. Shout out to everybody that finds their way to the Blac Pill. We appreciate all of you, right? Now, I want you to enjoy the show. Now, Marietta, at the same time, please enjoy the show. But at the same time, please remember I'm doing a show here, okay? So don't get affected by what I say. And two, I don't know the people you know, and I don't speak for all men. Okay, we just gonna throw that out there. All right, we gonna throw that out there. I speak for myself, and I've had men tell me this. I speak for myself. I don't speak for all men. I do what I do, and if you like it, it's cool, and if you don't like it, it's still cool. I'm not the dude that I'm not the guy that's gonna sit there and say what you want to hear. I'm the guy that's gonna say what needs to be heard. So I'm just gonna put that out there. We're gonna put it on the floor. But shout out to you for coming in here. Yes, sir. We appreciate you. We appreciate you for coming in here. Anyways, back to what we were saying. Yeah, like I said, man, the Delta plane engine caught fire at the Orlando airport. Let's see what the story says based on the Shade Room. The Delta Airlines plane bound for Atlanta caught fire on the tarmac at Orlando International Airport on Monday. Ninja, another plane. At this point, it's been over 100 planes that we've seen, prompting passengers to evacuate via emergency slides, according to the FAA. The incident occurred around 11:15 a.m. as Flight 1213, carrying 282 passengers, 10 flight attendants, and 2 pilots, was departing the gate. Flames were spotted in the tailpipe of one of the plane's engines, but no injuries were reported. Let's see what the comments say. Lord, please protect my future or any future flights. Now we got to go back to clapping when the plane takes off and lands. Yeah, I remember them days. I remember them days. And yeah, bro, I don't know, the way I'm feeling, I mean, like I said, I'm in my building stage of my life, so I probably ain't taking no plane for the next few months, but I am a little bit skeptical, and I am a little bit, I don't want to say scared because I got fears not real tatted on me, but I am a little bit skeptical of riding a plane now after seeing all these planes. You dig? So let's see what else. I flew from Orlando this morning, no issues, and while I understand the need for awareness as it's the media's job to report the news, with that said, at the same time, I rebuke fear-mongering. Please live your life, and while doing so, just stay prayed up. Facts. 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 And shout out to Marietta. She said out in Illinois, 2 planes did that there as well. And one thing I wanted to make a comment of, guys, it's like this comment said, and it's like Marietta just said, so these things happen everywhere, people. No matter what, it's gonna happen everywhere, okay? What we have to remember is that the media is about pushing a story. Even me, sometimes I gotta kind of skew the narrative and push the story, and I gotta push the story because it's the only way to be seen, because everybody's kind of doing the same thing. You feel me? So I want you guys to understand that, hey, these things may happen. Don't allow these things to control your life. Like, I see a lot of stuff happen. I don't allow it to control my life. I just tell you guys, a couple things we say on the show, it gets real in the field. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on. It's Looney Tune behavior out here. When I say Looney Tune behavior, I'm referring to people. It's just the way it goes. Shout out to Marietta. She said it's the Wigner effect, which I don't entirely know what that is, but I can assume based off of what we're talking about, it's just based off of frequency. So essentially, when something happens, another thing happens, and another thing happens, chain of events, and we keep seeing the same thing. So also understand that these things have been going on. The media is just reporting on it now because it seems to be the thing that everybody pays attention to, and that's why they're reporting on it. So let's let this lady finish.
Here on News 6 and on clickorlando.com, we have a crew headed out there right now to cover that breaking news. But in the last few minutes, the FAA confirmed the flight was bound for Atlanta from Orlando and confirmed that that plane was an Airbus A330. In a statement to News 6, Delta said, quote, "We appreciate our customers' appreciation, cooperation, and apologize for the experience. Nothing's more important than safety, and Delta teams will work to get our customers to their final destinations as soon as possible," end quote. Breaking news.
All right, so shout out to the FAA. Hopefully they figure it out, bro. Because at this rate, we're going to have flying cars doing the same thing, and that's a scary sight to see. All right, man, before we get into Krishan Rock, because today's show was going to be about Krishan Rock, and shout out to Krishan Rock. She got a new ninja, though, so she's spoken for. So, you know, all the women that's spoken for, I don't necessarily, will say that they're attractive, but I don't necessarily be trying to look at them because they spoken for. And shout out to Black Madam, right? But before we discuss that, we're going to discuss the Mount Rushmore of Cartoon Network. And I know you guys have been seeing this. Shout out to everybody that's been seeing this. So this is the new meme kind of thing where they creating this AI image of the Mount Rushmore of, and it could be rappers. It could be what is it? Cartoon Network. We're doing Cartoon Network as an example. It can also be hip hop, whatever. It could be country music. Basically, they're saying who are the GOATs in these generations? Sports, basketball, football. And in this case right here, they're showing us that the GOAT characters of Cartoon Network, or Cartoon Network's Mount Rushmore, has Finn the Human, number 1, for those of you who remember, Samurai Jack, and Courage the Cowardly Dog. Now, this is fire. I can agree with this one. But they're missing a few people. Right? So shout out to this comment right here. Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory. No regular show. No Teen Titans. Ninja. Teen Titans. They missing Teen Titans. And Ben 10. They are missing Ben 10. These are people who are very prominent in our lives that we used to look at. Look, this ninja. What's his name? What's this ninja name? Flapjack? Is this Flapjack? Is that this ninja name? I forgot this ninja, but I remember this show. This show used to make me feel funny when I was a youngin'. This show too, Flapjack, I believe. Ed, and Eddie. Them ninjas forgot Ed, and Eddie. One of my favorite shows. Shout out to Eddie. And shout out to E-Woo. For those of you who don't know, E-Woo, back when we first started the show, when he used to do the show with me, E-Woo his name is Eddie. I remember I was telling E-Woo, right? I was telling E-Woo, like, oh, you know, since your name is Eddie, like, I'm going to put in a song, like, you know, I'm going to put a line like something like, yeah, you know, I'm making business plans like I'm Eddie or something, like with my ninja Eddie or something. And I'm like, Ed Boy. I was going to say Ed Boy like Rolf. So I don't know. That was cool. But yeah, they're missing a lot of people. Shout out to Marietta. She said, yeah, Flapjack. That is Flapjack. So yeah, Flapjack. Samurai Jack is cool. They're missing number 1. They have number 1. Let me see who else. They're missing Looney Tunes, Scooby-Doo, Tom and Jerry, Powerpuff Girls. There's too many people, man. There's too many people, man. So if you watch TV, shout out to Chowder. Look, she said Chowder. They missing Chowder too. Look, and my favorite imaginary friend, back in the day, Blue. They're missing Blue. Blue used to be my favorite color before it became black. But yeah, they're missing Blue too. So, I mean, shoot. I don't know who's on that Mount Rushmore, but it is what it is. Let's get into Krishan Rock. Big pause, because that sounded weird.
But what the hell, boy?
All right. So we got Krishan, and we showed you guys a story earlier. And the story earlier, before I play this actually, the story earlier was that Krishan Rock was supposedly getting kicked out of Blueface's house by Blueface's dad. I don't know if I can pull it up. Let me see. Do I have it here? If I don't have it here, I can pull it up somewhere else. I don't have it here. Let me pull it up. On I guess Hollywood Unlocked, maybe. Let me see. No. I can't pull it up here. Yeah, right here. So Blueface right here got his father to remove Krishan Rock's belongings from his home after she moved on. And he said it's time to go. And we discussed Krishan Rock moving on. You guys can go find that episode. That was a live stream. Shout out to her for doing what she wants to do. Hey, fellas, free game. Gentlemen, you can't tell these girls what to do. At the end of the day, a woman is going to do whatever a woman wants to do. We live in a society now where women are empowered. You guys have to understand that. And I tell people I know all the time, shout out to my ninjas. I be sitting there like, bro, you got to make it make sense. Like, you make X amount of dollars. You expect, unless she really likes you, and I don't even know if women like ninjas like that, but if she really likes you, right? Unless she really likes you, there is no way you're going to convince her to turn down access to multiple resources for you. Who are you? And I always say this, I'm like, bro, and it's like, I'm not saying it to make you feel bad. It's just the only reason why I'm able to see these things is life humbled me. Like, I used to be cocky, arrogant, conceited. Life humbled me. So because life humbled me, I've lost my male ego. I still have it, but it's more geared towards like my work that I do. It's not geared towards the woman that I'm able to attract or the woman that I'm able to have around me. It's geared towards what I'm doing with my work and the things I'm trying to build. So because I lost my male ego in that sense, that's why I'm able to see these things and understand why women may move or maneuver the way they do, because they have access to multiple things. Why would they turn around and cancel all that to make you happy? And that's the gag, right? And it's okay. And I try and tell you fellas, it's okay. It's not that serious, because at the end of the day, you need to be focused on stacking money anyways, because if you have the money, you're going to be straight. You are going to be straight if you get that money. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, Krishan Rock is in her healing era and she's not looking back. You know, Blueface, shout out to Blueface. He's in jail right now. Ninja, stay out of prison, my ninja. It ain't worth it. The relationship's always been all over the place, chaotic and unpredictable. Now her father, or Blueface's father, her stepfather, or used to be stepfather, is now helping her pack her stuff, and it's time to go. Here we go. And we'll show you what she says afterwards.
Blueface made that call. Said, hey, it's time to go. You ain't playing this time.
Yes, sir.
He dead serious.
Blueface, baby. You all right?
Gotta back it up. It's time to go.
Hey, man, shout out Krishan. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, Krishan, if she ain't had no kids, though, hey, I'm just gonna keep it a bean. But shout out to the women with kids, too. I just don't have the money to deal with you, but I'm saying, bro. So look, like I said, they recorded that. We discussed that earlier in our previous show. Y'all can pull up and go see that if y'all want to go see that. That was this morning show. We have the morning show and a nighttime show. But boom, fast forward to later on today, Krishan Rock shared a message after Blueface asked his father to remove the belongings from his home. Here we go.
I haven't told y'all anything, for real. I'm excited, tears of joy, but
shout out to Twan. We got Twan in the bazillion. What up, Twan? What's good, homie? My ninja said, when would they learn? Hey, bro, look, fam, I'm gonna give it to you like this, dog. They'll never learn. Nobody's ever gonna learn, because by the time everybody realizes, and guys, remember, I don't only say this off the top of the head. Like, I'm a student of the game. It's off the fly too, but I'm a student of the game. So I pay attention to what's going on. So by the time everybody learns, we're all older, and then we're trying to tell the younger generation, but the younger generation doesn't want to listen. So the ninjas don't learn and the women don't learn at the same time, right? And I've said this before, I'll continue to say this. The stereotypes, not stereotype, but like prejudices or whatever, the things that you hear that men say about women and that women say about men, both are true. And all we're doing, you know, let's take it back to the Garden of Eden. All we're doing, I have a mirror over there. I will show y'all the mirror, but all we're doing is taking the mirror and pointing it at each other and saying, this is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you do. And that's why it's never going to get fixed. Shout out to Twan. He said she picked dude and you can visually see the difference. Yeah. And that's the thing too. Depending on who you're with will affect you emotionally, spiritually, and physically. So you have to be very mindful. That's why I tell y'all, I stay to my lonely. I'm cool with y'all. Look, shout out to Black Madam. I'm cool with Black Madam, right? I'm cool with y'all. And then I'm cool with the people at the gym. Past that, I'm telling you, you see me out in the streets, you wouldn't want to approach me, because until you show me that you're an okay person and you have a normal vibe, I'm like this, bro. I'm on 10 looking at you like, you might be plotting on me. And not that I'm weird, I'm perfectly coherent. I just be on, I'm on that type of timing, because like I said, y'all heard some of my stories. I done had some wild stories of random people approaching me. So yeah, I try and keep it cool. And Twan, we got Marietta in the building. She's one of our new people that watch the show, so show some love. Let's go back to what Krishan was saying. Here we go.
I kept it to myself. I mean, now everybody knows what's going on because I'm addressing the elephant in the room. The fact that I even have to do this, but I don't, but I do, because, like, is you cool? Everybody need to take a deep breath before they take their last breath, you know? Like, just breathe.
Yes, ma'am.
For real. And, stop calling our phones. Like, Cameron's trying to do something. We getting harassed with threats, like real threats. Like, y'all think it's Kiki.
Yeah, like I said, that's why I say these ninjas be these people be tripping, boy. That's why I be like, bro, I'm telling you. See, look, I showed y'all how people have threatened me before. You know, I posted it, I've shown it to y'all. Y'all can go see the streams or whatever. Black Adam crashing out, right? But, bruh, y'all ninjas so lucky, bro. Ninjas so lucky I ain't got no kids, bro. Imagine, bro, if somebody threatened me and I got kids, bro, I see why people tweak out. Like, you'll never understand. Like, I have a love for my kids that I don't even have yet. I wish a ninja would threaten me and potentially take me out my kid's life, bro. Bruh, you will be upheld to the highest standard, bro. I'm calling the feds. I'm calling everybody. I'm documenting everything. And after that, I'm going to tell you, pull up, bro. And we going to handle that, bro. So I don't know. Like I said, she's very strong for that. Here we go. Let's continue. Here's some more.
Like, who said it? Oh, you know, Jason Lee. I watched something Jason Lee said. He was like, all jokes aside, like, is she okay? Like,
yeah, all jokes aside, I think she's straight. It's just called being in your feelings. So, you know, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all seeing a much more healed version of me. Shout out to my therapist, my old therapist. She ain't my therapist no more, but shout out to my old therapist. Shout out to the people that held me to a standard in my life. Like, back when I wasn't a healed person, bruh, I used to tweak, bro. I used to tweak, bro. I'm telling you, Ninja used to tweak. Y'all seeing me cool, calm, collected. I'm talking about anybody. God forbid you disrespected me, bro. I would tweak out. Now I have more common sense. I'm shocked that I'm alive, bro. I'm shocked. We just gonna put it on the floor because I used to turn up on people, bro. And I had to realize that I don't see myself the way people see me. So I'm turning up and they see a big black dude turning up on them and they getting scared like they want to potentially off me, bro. So yeah, bro, y'all seeing the hell version. So even with her, she's just growing up, bro. It's just part of growing up. You wake up one day, everybody wake up at a different time. Shout out to Twan. He said, I swear to God, a baby mama, my only fear on God. Hey, bro, I feel you, bro. And that's the thing, too. That's why I'm like, bro, whoever I have kids with, bro, I ain't gonna lie. We're gonna have to find a way to figure it out. If you end up being a baby mama, I probably won't speak to you because I'm an emotional person, so I get hurt. So I'm not finna be interested in trying to keep it cordial with you while you're dealing with somebody else. I don't have that mental maturity, and that's okay. I know myself, so I'm aware of that. I'm not interested in doing all that with you. Maybe in the future I'll change, but for now, nah, I can't change. I'm sorry. I'm not that ninja. I can't do it, bro. I can't do it. I'm not mentally mature. I don't want to cohabitate with multiple ninjas and have multiple ninjas trying to raise my kids. I ain't cool like that. Like I said, I was raised by my father, so I think a little bit different. I was raised by my dad, so I only need, and I have my dad and my uncle. Those was the role models in my life. Shout out to my stepmama and like all the women in my life. But I don't need a bunch of ninjas around me trying to tell me how to be. Shout out to all my coaches. Them ninjas never, you know, overstepped their boundaries and all that. My coaches did what they had to do. I had multiple coaches, basketball, football, track, swimming, my workout coach. Shout out to all of them. They did what they needed to do. They did their role. Shout out to all my teachers. They all did their role superbly. So I think a little bit different. That's just me. Shout out to Marietta. She said everybody need to stop having babies without bonding first. You need to just be married. Hey, bro. I don't know, but here we go.
Y'all see a lot of stuff happening, but like, bro, I'm a human being, bro. Calm down. Like, they more excited about my blessing than I am. Like, I'm like, dang, I can barely see that shit. It's like that. Hey, I'm not playing, but I'm telling you, your haters will see more than you can see.
Yeah,
about
facts.
yourself.
Bro, I done had people say all type of shit to me. Guys, I don't even have much of a following. I'm saying some crazy shit. I showed y'all the last time. Look, y'all don't believe me. I showed y'all the last time. Look at this ninja right here. Look at this ninja right here. Look. You really think you look tough with that big ass belly and a chain faker than your personality? Ninja. That's how these people coming at me, bro. Look, guys, just to show y'all, put it in perspective, because this is my Instagram. And y'all follow me on Instagram. Y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy. Bro, I only have 319 followers. Ninjas is saying that with 319 followers. Bruh, these are all the people from back home. They don't even look. If you go on my page, they don't even like my stuff. Well, this one had 13 likes, 8 likes, 1 like, 2 likes, 2 likes, 1 like, 2 likes, 10 likes. The 10 don't count, but I'm saying, out of all the people I follow, not even 10% of these people like my shit. And people still hate it. And that's why I tell y'all, free game on a Monday, Motivational Mondays, man, do what the fuck y'all gotta do, bro. Because people gonna hate on you regardless, bro. No matter what you do, they gonna hate. If you're good at what you do, they're gonna hate. If you're bad at what you do, they're gonna hate. So you just gotta do you. You just gotta do you. So shout out to Krishan. Hopefully she figures it out. She has a kid and all that. I'm telling you, shout out to Twan, shout out to Marietta. Twan said the internet make people too comfortable. Facts, bro. People talking to me like they know me. I'm like, bro, even though, and that's the thing too, I'm not all the way, but I'm like 95% real on social media. Like, this really me. I mean, if you meet me in person though, if I don't know you, like, I know y'all. So that's why I'm talking like this, bro. If I don't know you, I'm like a church mouse. I'm just looking, and I'm friendly too, but you got to show me that you cool. If you're not cool, bro, I promise I will act like I don't know you, and I will look at you, bro. I will ease you up and down. Like, why are you looking at me like where I know you from? And I will ask you, because I don't play games with people. But yeah, bro, the internet made people weird, bro. So Ninja be on some weird type of timing. And shout out to Marietta. She said, we are biochemical, bioelectromagnetic beings. Bonding is a matter of life and death. That's facts. That's facts. So you got to be careful who you bond to. And that's why I'm very, very protective of me. And I'm saying in all aspects, I protect myself. Even with that last example I showed y'all, that's why I'm like, bro, we ain't answering no more DMs unless they talking business, bro, because I ain't got time for the bullshit. Okay. And then even now, y'all see right here, that's my uncle right there that actually sent me something. I'm gonna go look at that later. But yeah, if I don't know you, we ain't answering none of these DMs. Anyways, let me see, is that all I wanted to show you guys before we get into the main event? I believe that was it. Oh, one more thing. We discussed this on the collab we did on Sunday with Young Morpheus. Shout out to Morpheus. And on this collab, before we get to the main event, on this collab, we were discussing people going into space and space tourism starting to become a thing. So now we have another video, which actually came out before Gail King did what she did. We did a stream on that. And in this video, humans are orbiting over the North and South Pole for the first time in history. Here we go.
It is mind-boggling up here. It is so much fun.
So look, we was discussing the other day, well, yesterday, we was talking, me and Young Morpheus, we was talking like, okay, so like, you know, because some people believe in the firmament. I'm like, what is the firmament, right? So they like, yeah, we believe in the firmament. And I'm sitting there like, you know, I don't know what to believe no more. But this is another example of ninjas going up into the air. Not ninjas, but people going up into the air. And for the first time, humans are orbiting both the North and South Poles after being launched by SpaceX from the Frame 2 mission. Now, it's so crazy because the last times we seen Elon Musk in the news about launching spaceships or whatever, they were rockets that destroyed before they even got up in the air. They actually blew up. So I'm so confused. But supposedly this historic mission is expected to last 3 to 5 days before returning to Earth. I'm just like, bruh, how, bruh?
But what the hell, bro?
How? Take your ass back home, bro. And I'm gonna stamp it right here. I'm scared to do this, however, but hey, shout out to them people that's going to space, bro. If you could find me, bro, because I'm a regular civilian, take me up there, bro. Take me up there. Take me up there. I'm gonna tell all the people. If you take me up there, I'm gonna tell the people that it's real. Cause we need somebody from the community to go up there, cause I don't believe it's real. Okay, we just gonna stamp that right now. So if you ain't trying to take me, take somebody, bro. Take somebody and let them tell us whether or not it's real. Shout out to Marietta. She said it's the end times. It is the end times. It's been the end times. Shout out to Twan. Twan said the firmament is just air. Bro, cause look, bro, it's so crazy cause you see how you say that, right? Y'all see how y'all say that, right? So look, where is, right? Where is the stars? Ninja.
But what the boy.
Where the stars at? Where the stars at? Ain't no stars. Where the stars at, man? Where the stars at? Y'all show me where the stars at. And we're going to show you real quick. Before we get to the main event, I just got to show you this last thing relating to Gayle King going into space. They showed us the moon. How the moon looks smaller when you in space, my ninja. How the moon looks smaller when you in space. Hold on. We're going to pull it up right now. Let me see Gayle King. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. How the moon looks smaller in space, bro. That don't make no goddamn sense, bro. Hold on. We about to pull it up. Hold on. Let me see. Did I pass it? I ain't pass it. Hold up. Did I pass it? Oh, here we go. Hold on. Did I pass it? I didn't pass it. Right here. Boom. And we did a stream on this already, but y'all can see it again. Here we go.
1, 2, 3. Take up space!
But what the hell, boy?
Tamir's in space. What are you doing?
Bro, look, bro, that little speck right there. Do y'all see that? Hold on, bro. I gotta make it bigger. This little speck right here that you see in the background that she's staring at, that's the moon. Ninja.
But what the hell, boy?
Ninja. These people playing in our face, bro. I don't like that, bro. Why they playing like that, bro? Here we go. We're gonna let the video finish.
Up there. Flynn, bye. Flynn, I gotcha. I gotcha, Flynn.
Gotcha. Proud of you, Flynn.
What y'all think, bro?
Oh, the moon. You guys, I will have to tell you, look at the moon.
Look at the moon. So look, she say this the moon, right? She gonna show you the sun and turn around and say, she gonna show, look, this the moon. She gonna show you the sun and turn around and say that this is the moon as well. Watch this. Just watch.
That's amazing.
Look,
wow,
watch this.
Look at the blue line.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
So look, this is the sun. She says that's her goddess, and then she says it's the moon.
Oh my God. That's our pink moon.
She said that's the big moon. The moon is in Earth's atmosphere, yes, but as far as we know, the moon doesn't have its own light. For those of you who don't know, the moon doesn't have its own light. The moon gets its light from a piece or some of the light from the sun shining through the moon, and then we see it through Earth. So how can she see the moon over there and then see the sun over there? That's why I'm saying it doesn't make sense, because based off of how it works, the reason why we see phases of the moon is because a different piece of the sun based on the moon's orbit is passing through the moon, so we can see that piece of the moon. And that's where I'm like, yo, what are we talking about, bro?
What the hell?
What are we talking about? Am I confused? Is that not what we learned about the lunar phases in school? That's why I'm like, bro, these people tripping, bro. And then when you pass through the whole thing, and even then when it comes to a solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, I don't know, bro. All I'm saying is some weirdo-ish, but that's pretty much it. Let's get to the main event, man. Let's get to the main event. And shout out to everybody in here, man. Hit that like button, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Like I said, we do this for entertainment purposes only. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I know a little bit. I know a little bit out here in these streets. And shout out to everybody that answered the poll. Do you think Shannon Sharpe is guilty? Answer the poll and then comment your thoughts. So we got half and half. Half yes, half no. So half of the people said yes, half of the people said no. And we're going to discuss deep dive. So earlier, a lady came out and said that Shannon Sharpe sexually assaulted her, right? And I told people, I said, hey, y'all want the key to handling this? The key to handling this is to, first off, just not deal with women, right? We're just gonna put that on the floor. But the main thing is, if she says no, the answer is no, guys. Cut her off and don't feel bad. You won't lose no sleep, and guess what? You'll keep money in your pocket. Now, this potentially, Marietta was talking about earlier in the comments that he took advantage of her. I personally feel like she's trying to get money. And then we have stuff to verify this now as well. So Shannon Sharpe has responded. And Shannon Sharpe responded and discussed how she sent him explicit messages and they were role playing. So we're going to get into it. 1 second. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked. So Shannon Sharpe broke his silence after a woman filed a lawsuit accusing him of rape. Let's see. We're not going to read the messages in excruciating detail, but we have the messages for you. I'm going to make my screen big. I'm not going to make it too big because I don't want YouTube to demonetize me, if that's the correct terminology. Let me see if I can find a way to make it a bit bigger. I want to make it bigger. Hold on 1 second, because I need to be able to read it. I made it big on my screen, but it doesn't look right. It looks a little bit funny. So let me now Marietta says he coerced her. Now Marietta, when you say coerced her, what do you mean by that specifically? How did he coerce her if he was paying her? Because as far as we know, he was paying her, and he came out with some proof. And Marietta said coercion is not consent. So Marietta, how did he coerce her? Like specifically, what did he say to coerce her? Is what I'm trying to figure out. So Shannon Sharpe right here, and when you respond, if I don't answer, of course, it's because I'm reading. You know what it is. I can't look two ways or else I'm gonna start to get cross-eyed. But yeah, so Shannon Sharpe responded to accuser representing by Tony, blah, 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 blah. So Marietta said, I feel like he's a creep and is hiding something. So Marietta, do you know who Shannon Sharpe is? Let's start there. Do you actually know who Shannon Sharpe is? Do you know who he was? We got to start there, because Shannon Sharpe is a well-known person. Like Shannon Sharpe is a well-known person. So Marietta said money is a coercion tactic. If that's the case, every job that we apply for will be coercing us. Okay. But like I said, we gotta read what was said. So there's a statement by Larry J. Davis, who's the counsel to Shannon Sharpe, which means that's his attorney. And basically he said, I want you, man, look, we're going to have to pull it up, bro. I can't see it, bro. We're going to pull it up, bro. We're going to pull it up, dog. We're going to pull it up. So he was an ESPN commentator and a basketball player. Okay, cool. And Marietta, one question I wanted to ask, because you said money is a coercion tactic. Are we, as men, right? As men, the question is, are we not supposed to attract? How are we supposed to attract a woman? That's what I want to know. How are we supposed to attract a woman in 2025? How should we attract a woman if we're not allowed to use our money? Because, you said money is a coercion tactic, and you're not the only woman that has said this before. So how do we attract a woman? How can a man attract a woman in 2025 if we're not allowed to use our money, which is the only thing we have? Because we could have looks and all that, but some ninjas out here is ugly. We just gonna keep it a stack, bro. Some ninjas is ugly. Some ninjas, they ain't got no money. So I mean, how do you pull a woman? Shannon Sharpe text messages. Maybe I'll just go to my Instagram. Hold up, let me see. I might just go to my Instagram. Pull up my Instagram like this. I might be able to zoom in. Let me see. Can I zoom in? Nope, but I can actually see a bit better. All right, so I can see it better. You guys can kind of see it, but let's see. So this was a statement by Lanny J. Davis. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. My bad, y'all. I had to unmute my mic. And shout out to Marietta. Marietta said, we can use emotional intelligence. Now, Marietta, you see I'm able to articulate myself somewhat. I don't have the most emotional intelligence, but I have a decent form of it. Now, Marietta, do you understand that majority of men don't have emotional intelligence? Because it's something that's learned through trial and error. And that's the whole thing that women have to understand is men don't think like you. Learning to read emotions and actually be present with the woman. And you see how you said these things. We live in I believe you live in Illinois based off of what you said. We live in a society now where we don't necessarily have time for these things. So we don't have time to sit there and actually learn emotional intelligence. It's just learned through our behaviors and things that happen in our day-to-day lives. We don't actually have a class teaching this is emotional intelligence. These are things that people learn on their own. So for example, right, and I'm not saying that you're wrong, Marietta. I only know emotional intelligence because I wanted to know that kind of stuff and because I was interested in trying to learn those things. There are dudes that aren't interested in trying to learn those things. Even then, there are dudes who don't even know that those things exist. And that's what I'm saying. And I tell a lot of people this because I deal with people who have at least some form of an intellect. We have to understand, guys, that not everybody has the same brain as us. So not everybody can think at the level that we think at. And that's okay. But we have to keep in mind, since they don't think the way that we think, we have to be aware that they may not be aware of what they're doing. And I'm not specifically saying Shannon Sharpe, this lady. I'm speaking in a general sense, right? But let's read the statements. So this is the statements that Lanny J. Davis's counsel sent to Shannon Sharpe. And this is basically some of the stuff that she texted him. And fellas, shout out to the men in here. Men. The learning lesson that we get today on Motivational Monday is do not send these girls anything because everybody got receipts. Don't send anybody anything, bro. So look, this is in quotations, meaning that it is verbatim. Okay, this is verbatim from their text messages. So here's a statement. First things first, in quotations. I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're doing stuff to me. Ninja. And what I'm reading, by the way, is what she said. Shout out to what's her name? Gabriella. Shout out to Gabriella. Hey, she like to get down. Hey, bro. I can't even say. Look. I can't even say nothing. Would y'all believe me if I told y'all I've been in a position where a woman told me this? Would you believe me? Would you believe me? Okay. But it's all good. Shout out to the women. We love the women over here, man. I don't know about you ninjas. Shout out to my ninjas. Shout out to Twan and all my ninjas. I rock with y'all. But hey, the rest of you ninjas, bro, you ninjas be acting like women out here in these streets, or how women used to act. And that's why I don't be around y'all like that. What DDG say? I'm a boy's girl. Shout out to the women. Let's see. So Gabriella, in another text message to Shannon Sharpe on October 7th, 2023. I know you missed this big juicy booty. 25,000 for each cheek. Ninja. 25,000. 25 racks for each cheek. Now shout out to Marietta. Marietta, I gotta ask you, do you think that was appropriate for her to say? And shout out to Marietta. She said some men do have emotional intelligence and try to use it to manipulate women and vice versa. Now that's the first time I've heard a woman be honest in a long time. Hey man, shout out to Marietta. Marietta, you get it. Yes. So men and women all have some form of emotional intelligence, but what it comes down to is men and women try to manipulate each other and get mad when it doesn't work. So like I said, in this specific instance, she said, I know you missed this big juicy booty. 25 racks for each cheek. Ninja, if I gotta pay that much, I'm good. Bro. No way, bro. No way. Okay? The lawsuit filed by Gabriella, whatever her last name is. And like I said, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is based off of the information that's available at this time. Please don't sue me. I ain't got no money for you, okay? When you see this money on here that I be posting up, this fake money, okay? Y'all donate down below. In prop, we trust, my ninja. But the lawsuit filed by Gabriella and orchestrated by her attorney, Tony Busby, is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. It is filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations, and it will not succeed. In her effort to extract a large financial settlement, Miss Gabriella, what did she do? She presented Mr. Sharpe with a secretly recorded video of a consensual sexual encounter. We believe the video has been heavily edited and taken entirely out of context, crafted to falsely portray a consensual act as non-consensual.
But what the hell,
Ninja. You girls are conniving, bro. Y'all make me scared, bro. Miss Gabriella has refused to provide a copy of the full unedited version of the recording to Mr. Sharpe's legal team. To set the record straight, we are releasing several of Miss Gabriella's own explicit text messages to Mr. Sharpe that clearly indicate the nature of their relationship was consensual and whatever in nature, and in many cases initiated by her with specific and graphic requests. Contrary to the allegations she makes in her lawsuit, consensual whatever continued until January 2nd, 2025, the day after she asked for the 25 racks per cheek, as quoted above from her text message to Mr. Sharpe. And this is where people try and have their cake and eat it too, as they like to say. And this is another quotation based off of what she said, verbatim. She put, only if you put that baby gravy in me, and then I can do whatever I want. And what she meant to say was, then you can do whatever you want to me. I don't know what she was trying to say, but it looks like it says specifically, it says, only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever I want to me. I don't know what she was trying to say. She was tripping. But text from Gabrielle to Shannon Sharpe on November 23rd, 2023 say, I want to put my tongue in your booty hole and then marry you, ninja.
You what the hell, boy?
Ninja, what do y'all think? What do y'all think? It's quiet, guys. It's quiet. What do you think? Let me check the multi-chat. Shout out to Marietta. Damn, you two trying to stop. Marietta said what she said. I'm not going to say it because you two didn't allow me to see it, and I can see it now. And she's accusing him of grape is basically what Marietta's saying. But I'm trying to figure out, maybe she's ahead. So I'm going to keep reading. Marietta. Hopefully I get to where you're saying. She has another text. It's another text from Gabrielle to Shannon saying, "That's my daddy. F word, I want you to put a big black baby in me." Now, white women, because there's got to be white women. White women.
What are you doing? You what?
What's up with y'all and big black babies, bro? First off, big and black is the first part that got me a little bit like, what y'all doing, bro? Y'all gotta chill, bro. Y'all need to chill, bro, okay? All this big black baby, whatever. Hey, man, that's weird. Another text says, "You better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me." Yeah, I don't know. Let me see what else is said here. Another text says, "These messages," or no, the attorney makes a statement and says, "These messages are just a sampling of a broader pattern of graphic type of communication initiated by Miss Gabriella. The evidence paints a clear picture. This was a consensual adult relationship that included role-playing, foul language or graphic language, and fantasy scenarios explicitly requested by Miss Gabriella. The edited tape that Miss Gabriella secretly taped and showed to Mr. Sharpe during her blackmail attempt tries to falsely portray, as a result of this editing and out of context from prior text messages, that the activity was non-consensual. But Mr. Sharpe now believes her secret taping was all part of her planned setup as part of her blackmail scheme, as distorted by her edited tape, a copy of which she refused to make available to Mr. Sharpe or his counsel. Mr. Sharpe categorically denies all allegations of coercion or misconduct, especially the gross lie of grape, and will not submit to what he sees as an egregious attempt at blackmail. He stands firmly by his truth and is prepared to fight these false claims vigorously in court. He looks forward to vindication through due process and a judgment based on the facts and the law. Ninja. So shout out to Marietta. Marietta says, "The woman accusing Sharpe says she had been in a rocky consensual relationship with the NFL Hall of Famer that lasted nearly 2 years." But like I said, now we're saying, is it consensual or is it non-consensual? Because now we're saying consensual. That means she agreed to this stuff. And now we can turn around and say that he may have done these things to threaten her or whatever the case may have you. But where everybody always misses me, and like I said on the Blac Pill, we say everybody's innocent until proven guilty based off of the way life is supposed to work in America, because ever since this idea of the court of public opinion, everybody's guilty until proven innocent. On the Blac Pill is smoke, mirrors, and truth. You take the Blac Pill and see for yourself. That's our motto. So like I said, everybody's innocent until proven otherwise. But one thing about it that always is elusive to me is, why do women not just go tell the police if these things are happening the first time it happens, if it was scary? How do you continue to let these things happen? And that's where men turn around and think, this sounds like a money grab, because it's like, if these things were going on, why not tell the police and tell the police don't do anything, so that way there's documentation of, hey, this happened. Shout out to Marietta. She said the woman alleges that Sharpe also recorded their encounters without her consent and shared the recordings with others. I guess Marietta might be reading the full story, so that probably is the full story. I'm just confused because she tried to blackmail him with her own kind of tape, which is very confusing, and that's where I'm saying it's this whole thing. But we'll go back to the short. So the short that I posted, 1 second. Shout out to CGA. For those of you who know, you know, and if you don't, you know, you don't. CGA, and this is not red pill stuff, by the way, guys. I don't do red pill. This is the Blac Pill. Excuse me. I don't do the red pill because the red pill is a little bit weird, and when it comes to me, I don't think they have my best interests at heart. Let me see. And Marietta said, "I couldn't get a money grab when it happened to me." And Marietta, this is why I say I personally can't help you with that, because I have nothing to do with that situation. And we empathize with people who have things that have happened to them. I've had things happen to me as well. But this is where I tell you, we can't do anything here. We can only discuss it. We can talk about it. Like even in this case with this girl, You know, there's civil lawsuits and criminal lawsuits. Why not file a criminal lawsuit when it comes to these things? And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about this woman. She filed a civil lawsuit. Why not file a criminal lawsuit if this has been an ongoing thing? This ninja's a prominent figure. People know who this man is. Why not file a criminal lawsuit? And then this is where we start to put in excuses. Shout out to Marietta. She said a woman can say yes to consensual sexual relations, but when she says no, even once, that no means no. Facts. And that's why I say, once this happened at one time, why not file charges? Anyways, let me show them the video real quick, Marietta. 1 second. Let me show them the video. So the video was, we live right now. Shout out to everybody in the live. This was the short that I put. And the short is lawsuit is the new divorce. So I'm going to show you guys how lawsuit is the new divorce. And shout out to CGA, because I didn't say this. He said this. But women are starting to do this thing now where they turn around and make lawsuit the new divorce. So $50 million. This is the short I made. Here we go. You become somebody tomorrow, these people will try and come at you. Shannon Sharpe is facing a new lawsuit after a woman is accusing him of sexually assaulting her multiple times. Ninja. It's weird looking at myself. Believe anymore. According to TMZ, the woman who filed the lawsuit as Jane Doe in Nevada is accusing the former NFL star of doing whatever to her multiple times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025. The woman claims she met Shannon at the gym in 2023 when she was 20 years old. She said that he pursued her by repeatedly calling, texting, and demanding she come to his Beverly Glen mansion. The two allegedly entered a consensual relationship. So let me make sure my mic's on. So boom, right here. This is why I'm like, we're gonna do a deep dive into my video. So my whole thing is like, while he pursued her aggressively, if she did not like the aggressive pursual, why did she not, before it got to this point, why did she not tell the police or say, hey, I feel uncomfortable? Shout out to Marietta. She said Inception. But I'm just like, if she didn't feel comfortable, why didn't she let people know? It's as simple as just picking up the phone and dialing 911 before anything happened and saying, hey, I might have to file a restraining order on this man because this man makes me feel uncomfortable. So, you know, that's the whole thing right there for me. But she's requesting $50 million. That's the main thing I wanted to show you guys. Now, let me show you guys something else. Watch this. Watch this. And this is why I say lawsuits are becoming the new divorce. Or I didn't say it. CJ said it, but I'm going to prove it to you. So she's requesting $50 million. Watch this. Watch this. Shannon Sharpe, new contract. So Shannon Sharpe has a new contract that is poised to sign with a new media deal over $100 million. Ninja. $100 million. So $100 million. So when I say lawsuit is the new divorce, normally when you're in a new divorce, or shout out to CGA, when CGA says lawsuit is the new divorce, when you get a divorce with a woman, normally you divide it by 2, or you break everything down in half. Now it's just so odd that after Shannon Sharpe is reportedly poised to sign a new media deal over $100 million, it's so shocking that she would want half of that. And that just reinforces the point that now women are doing this thing where, hey, you don't want to marry me, you don't want to put a baby in me, okay, I'm still gonna get this money. So Ninja, shout out to Marietta. Marietta said, just like when I didn't tell her my sperm donor, I was 6 years old, I couldn't understand. See, Marietta, and that's what I'm saying, where you turn around and say these things, and I have to say, we can feel for you and we can empathize with you, but there's nothing that we can do about it. I'm just Black Adam, right? I mean, I know that's a big deal, shout out to me. I'm just Black Adam, right? So when it comes to the specifics, I can say sorry it happened or whatever the case may have you, but no matter what I say, it's not going to be enough. That's where we turn around and say, you have to figure it out. And that's why I tell the women that come on my page, y'all got to protect yourselves. I say, man, women, whoever you are, shout out to the alphabet boys and girls, the LGBTQIA plus community, protect yourself, because nobody's going to protect you unless you report it to the police. And even then, the police, shout out to the pigs. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to the pigs. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to the pigs. They can only do so much as well if you do not provide documentation, if you don't tell them what happened, when it happened. If you wait, try and build a case, it's not your job to build a case on somebody. It's the police job to build a case on somebody. Unless you're at your job and they're doing some kind of discriminatory policies or whatever the case may have you, we can't do anything. The public can't do anything. We can try and stand up for you, but guess what? Let's say something happened to you specifically, right? And I see it, right? So I see it. You know, if I act right, if I turn around and do something, and this is where society has everybody in shackles now. That's why they say slavery has changed. So let's say something happened, right? Let's say something happens to you. If I turn around and do something, I do something to that person because it has nothing to do with me. Even if it has something to do with me, I can potentially get sued and I can lose millions of dollars. Guess what? I can potentially go to prison for standing up for you. And that's why I tell everybody on this show, protect yourself. It get real in the field out here in these streets. There's Looney Tunes everywhere. You got to protect yourself, because if you don't, nobody's going to sit there and protect you. Shout out to Marietta. She said maybe for her it was a money thing. Maybe she wanted more evidence to try and make it so he couldn't escape justice. But like I said, she could have told, this is where I'm saying where it doesn't make sense, because she could have told the police and told the police to not do anything and just say, I want this as documentation in case it gets worse. She could have did that. They would have never said anything to him. That's how they move in the police. They move like that. So if she really wanted this ninja to get in trouble, you know, she could have told the police and told them, don't say anything. I'm just making documentation. I'm filing a report. Shout out to Twan. He said whole time Purdue made $35 billion off Oxy, but paid $7 billion. And this is what I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. The interesting world that we live in. They just didn't go on a press run. And look, like I said, even with Diddy, right? Even with Diddy, shout out to Diddy. You know, we talk about Diddy on here a lot. No disrespect to the ninja. But y'all do realize all the things we know about Diddy only happened because he didn't want to pay Cassie. He didn't want to pay that $16 million. And that's why we know all this stuff. Now, let's say he had paid. Well, we have known about all these things that may or may not allegedly have happened. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. This is the new world we live in, man. And I mean, it's crazy. Shout out to Papa Black. Papa Black used to try and put me on game. He ain't say it like that. Like, he ain't come out and say it because he ain't want to ruin it for me, like dating and stuff. So shout out to Papa Black for sheltering me from the world. But my dad used to tell me, like, he used to be like, yo, like, my dad used to say crazy stuff like, bro, you know, you get with a girl, I think you should make a contract. And I used to look at this ninja. like,
What the hell?
I used to look at this ninja. I'm like, bro. And my dad was ahead of the game. My dad seen the writing on the wall. And I didn't understand why he was saying that. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about, bro? Why would I make a contract with a girl? We're boyfriend and girlfriend. We got to make a contract. He's like, yeah, you got to make a contract. He's like, you should make a contract. Protect yourself. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Fast forward. I now understand. It's crazy out here in these streets, bro. It's crazy out here in these streets. Shout out to Marietta. She said Diddy did too much to too many people for too long. So like I said, and that's what I'm saying with this girl right here. Why haven't more women come out before and say something? Shout out to Twan. He said, I'm surprised Diddy's still alive. Oh, man, he's a ninja, man. Because he's a ninja. That's why he's still alive. He's still alive because he's a ninja. And nobody really cares about a ninja out here in these streets. Look at R. Kelly. Look at Bill Cosby. Look at Diddy. The reason why is because people care about what the white man got to say. And I'm not racist. I'm a little bit prejudiced. I'm not racist. Shout out to my white brothers and sisters. You feel what I'm saying? I call a spade a spade. So because Diddy doesn't have the information that we may want per se, Epstein got that information. We discussed this yesterday. Shout out to Young Morpheus. You know, what happened to the Epstein list? Where's the Epstein list? Shout out to President DJT. Shout out to President Donald Trump. He said he was going to bring it out. Shout out to Pam Bondi. He said they said they was going to bring it out. They ain't bring out that Epstein list. Shout out to Marietta. She said Rihanna is behind this. I'm sure Jay-Z let Diddy have a taste. Ninja.
What the hell, bro?
Ninja. Yo, Marietta wildin', bro. Marietta wildin'. Yo. I don't even know what to say after that, man. Hey, man. Like I said, shout out to Shannon, bro. I personally don't believe these allegations. I don't know what to believe. One thing I do know is we are watching the downfall of black men in real time. And we've been saying this since I started streaming. Since we did Diddy, Jay-Z and the Dark Side of Fame. We did The Nightmare Before Christmas. For those of you who've been here, you know we're gonna be here. We're gonna be here for a while. We're gonna be here to stay. So you feel me? We're gonna run it back this year. I got a lot planned for Halloween. I got a lot planned for Christmas, all that. But like I said, bro, we did all these streams, and what it comes down to is we are watching the fall of powerful black men in real time. As a ninja myself, I'm very careful. Like I said, y'all probably won't hear nothing about me with nobody once I get right. Past that, hey, bro, fellas, shout out to the women too. Y'all know what it is, ladies. Hit my line. But fellas, protect the neck out here, bro. They gunning for you, bro. If you get some money, bro, and you can pay somebody to hide the amount of money you have and your worth, do so, my ninja. When I get this bread right, hopefully I get this bread right. Hopefully, if I get this bread right, nobody's ever going to know. Because unfortunately, if they know, I become a target. That's it for today's show. Yes, sir. Y'all know what it is, man. Join the Adam Effect. Join the core. Hold on. Let me pull up the core. Before we get up on out of here. Let me see. What is this shit called? Judge Brown. Here we go.
This is the Adam Effect.
What?
Achieved.
No, that wasn't it. My bad. That was weird.
But what the hell, boy?
What was that, bro? What was that? Oh, it was called iPhone. Suing Shannon and the government make $2 billion a year off taxes. Oh yeah. Hold on. Let me see. iPhone. Where is it? iPhone. Here we go. Y'all join the core, man. Join the Adam Effect. It's for the people who understand, bro. Men and women, you guys are invited. No, we're not a cult. We're not a cult. We might look like a cult. We might look like a gang. You don't have to get beat into this gang. No, I'm just playing. We're not a gang. We're a network. We're a network of like-minded individuals looking to do business with each other in the future. Yes, sir. Shout out to Marietta. She said she got a book for me to read. Join the core. If you join the core, I'll read the book. Welcome to the core. Join the core. Marietta, you join the core. If you can join the core, well, you got to be 18 and up first. Hopefully you're 18. If you're not 18, hey, please drop a book. Hey, drop a book for Twan. Like I said, y'all join the core, man. Y'all join all my stuff. Follow me everywhere. To join the core, it starts as simple as this. Put an Adam in your bio. Let me show you. Adam. Put an Adam in your bio. Put that in your bio. You put this specifically for the core. You are part of the core, or you're starting to initiate yourself into the core. Can you handle it though? That's the question. Put that in your bio. Put that in your bio on all platforms. And that lets me know you want to be part of something bigger than yourself. And if you want to be part of something bigger than yourself, like I said, let's build up, man. Shout out to the core. Shout out to the resistance. This is Black Adam. Deuces.